Welcome friends to another r/IDontWorkHereLady video. If you don't work here, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons down below. That said, our first story of the day is by Chris Husky. I don't work for you. This happened in June 2020 when I was job hunting. My old company, let's call them Company A, laid me off due to the pandemic. They gave me a generous 2 months notice, so the end of August was my last day. I applied for various companies, even applied for a re-education program, which I took in the end. However, during the 2 months, I also applied for Company B. Their job offer was amazing at first. 40 hours a week, overtime account, 24 days of paid vacation a year. Germany, baby! I got called in for an interview. I tend to arrive early for work, interviews, appointments. That is for me to take a breath, drink a coffee, and prepare for what's coming. The interview was at 8 a.m. I got there at around 7:30 a.m. I parked in the employee parking lot. I was told it would be fine. Little did I know it would cause an issue. That issue started when a guy in a suit and tie stormed up to the parking lot looking furious. The following conversation ensued. He said, "Where the freak have you been? You were supposed to be here by 7. I said, I was told." They cut me off and said, "I told you to be here by 7. Me, confused, said, "The email stated 8 a.m. They say, "Are you stupid? We start at 7. First day and you're already late? Get out of here, you're fired." Me, realizing what happened, said, "Sorry, you must be Miss..." They say, "I said, get out." Me, fed up, said, "I don't work for..." They say, "Obviously, since I fired you." I say, "I never worked for you in the first place." They said, "Of course, it was supposed to be your first day." At this point, I had enough of him. I was about to get back in my car when another guy and a woman came out of the office building to see what the fuzz was about. Turns out he's the CEO and she's the recruiter. The CEO said, "What the heck is going on here?" The angry guy said, "This lazy bum came in on his first day over 30 minutes late." CEO looking at me and then at angry guy, then back at me, said, "This is unacceptable. What's your name?" I say my name and the recruiter says, "Oh, you're early." Angry guy says, "Early? He's late and fired." The recruiter says, "Angry guy, he's not. He's here for a job interview. You know, the vacant position on your team. He's not even an employee." Angry guy said, "Well, why did he park here then?" Recruiter said, "Because I told him to. His appointment's at 8 a.m., but we can start now." I say with all due respect, I politely declined to work here. CEO and recruiter said, "What?" I said, "Yeah, I'm not interested in working for someone who speaks to his employees in that manner. Also, I don't want to work for someone who can't tell who's working for him." Recruiter said, "I can't blame you. I promise we'll deal with this. Maybe we can reschedule for another day?" I said, "I'll keep in touch with you about that." A few days later, I signed a contract at a transport company for a re-education program to become a train operator. I called the recruiter as promised and told her that another interview wasn't necessary. I asked her to please remove me from the list of candidates. She did and told me that I made a good choice as her father used to work for transport company. She also told me what happened to Angry Guy. He got fired 2 days after he blew up at me. They did an internal investigation and found out about a lot of misconduct and abuse towards his employees. Karma wins. Do you guys think, considering the reaction they had in this situation, that OP must have had an impressive resume? Like, if there's somebody that wasn't blowing their socks off and was just there for an interview, and then they turn it down because the guy was angry and being rude and stuff, do you think they would still have the same level of reaction where they would go and fire the guy 2 days later? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. This next story is by You Bury It, I Dig It Up. I argue with a Karen even though I don't work there. I used to work at a fast food restaurant, but now I'm an intern for a real position in my field. I dress business casual every workday. Whenever I'm hungry on my way home, I stop by my old restaurant since they still give me the employee discount. They always tell me to make my own food, which I'm fine with. As you can imagine, anyone who sees a well-dressed man working in a restaurant assumes he's the manager. I really wanted to have fun with a rude customer pretending to be the manager, but no such thing happened until one day in walks the Karen of my dreams. Thanks to Reddit, everyone knows what Karens look like, and they've learned to disguise themselves. Great job, guys. She walked in looking normal. Everything was fine until on her way out she asked for a bag of chips. Chips are normally free as sides, but she'd ordered a salad, which was already a side. I told her this, and she proceeded to ignore me and ask an employee for chips. I knew exactly what would happen. My ex-coworker would have keeled over and given her the chips to avoid getting in a hairy situation. Since I had nothing to lose, I was free to do as I pleased. I told her to hand the chips over to me and repeated the policy. This lady starts gaslighting me into thinking they're free because she thinks it's absolutely outrageous to pay $1 for chips. In the end, she didn't get the chips, and it's not like I could lose my job. It's been a few months now and I haven't gotten so much as a text from the real manager, so I think I'm in the clear. All I really did was follow policy. Yeah, although OP did follow policy, let's be real, OP was just kinda waiting around hoping for the right moment to force their hand. Be like, no, don't worry, I'm the manager here, can't you tell by my attire? Our next story is by Jazz Singer 1187. My solution to every occasion where I'm mistaken for an employee. Due in part to my army job, 27 years active service in military intelligence, and living in Munich, Germany for many years, I've become fairly fluent in German. I was approached by a woman not long ago who, for some reason, thought I was an employee at the supermarket we were in, and in a very demanding tone, demanded assistance. I quickly responded to her in German and answered everything she said to me, such as, "Where's such and such item? Why aren't you speaking English? This is America. Let me speak to your manager." In German. Her face got redder and redder, and I thought she might have a heart attack. She finally gave up and walked away. I detest Americans who believe in American exceptionalism. I think of all these people that say, "Speak English, you're in America." The absolute worst offenders are the rare people who say, "You're in America, speak American." There's nothing more perfect than to just make you go, "Oh my god," than watching or hearing some Karen say, "Speak American." It's like, can you hear yourself right now? Our next story is by Upstairs Tomato 3231. Best Longs employee ever. I used to live in a fancy part of California where a lot of celebrities live. It was just a normal, beautiful Halloween day that I was at a Long's drugstore. A very tall man suddenly asked me in an effusive British accent, "Excuse me, ma'am, can you please tell me where the glittery nail polish is? My daughter needs it for her costume." I was a little stunned because I was looking at John Cleese from Monty Python, A Fish Called Wanda, and a million other things. I've loved John Cleese ever since I saw Monty Python on TV when I was 10 years old. I said, "Of course," and showed him. He thanked me politely and he went to go pay. Fast forward about 2 months later, and I'm at Long's again, and here comes John Cleese heading straight towards me. He recognized me, I assume, as the nice employee who helped him the last time. I can't remember what he was looking for this time, but I led him to the aisle it was on, and he again thanked me for doing such a good job. I like to imagine that he looked around for me the next time, maybe even asked if the nice blonde girl was working that day, maybe even rising my status to Employee of the Year. Of course, the plaque would have to be a photo of a question mark, because I never once worked at Long's Drugs. I think needless to say, this just goes to show how people would be willing to bend over backwards for a celebrity that they like at like the drop of a hat. Somebody OP idolizes and really looks up to walks in, and OP's ready to disregard any level of self-preservation and totally be the employee of their dreams at this Long's drugstore. Please, Mr. Cleese, what can I possibly do for you? That said, I love John Cleese too. Our next story is by Darkflyer726. Old guy in the store that sells staples demands mask. This just happened yesterday, and it's a relatively minor one compared to most in the sub, but it gave me a chuckle for several reasons. For context, I was in a major American stationery store that sells staples yesterday afternoon, clearly using a fax and copy machine. My wallet's in one hand, my papers are in the other, and I'm wearing an obvious cannabis brand shirt in the wrong color, pot leaves all over it. The copy area is behind a half wall to the right of the doors when you come in. So I'm doing my thing in the zone, clearly not paying attention around me, when I hear someone clearing their throat loudly several times. I ignore it, and I hear an "excuse me" and ignore that too, as I don't work there. The old guy, or OG, steps into my field of vision on the other side of the wall, makes eye contact, and says even more loudly, "Excuse me." Me, clearly confused, said, "Are you talking to me?" They said, "Yeah, finally. Do you have an extra mask?" I said, "No, sir, I don't work here." And I pointed to my weed shirt. He said, "I need a mask. Do you have an extra?" Now, I'm wearing a cloth mask with a kitty face on it, not a disposable one, and as I wasn't an employee, I'm not sure why he thought I would have an extra to give him one. I say, "No, sir, and even if I did, I'm a customer, not an employee." He says, "So you don't have an extra mask?" I say, "No, sir, I don't work here." The old guy gets all huffy, throws up his hands, and pushes his cart out of the store that sells staples. Now, this guy clearly had some money, really decent clothes, well-groomed. We all forget our masks, but just expecting a random store clerk to have one for you, let alone a stranger in a store to provide one for you, that's entitled. Like they were selling then, he could have asked someone to buy it for him. I would have if he'd given me the money to do so, but to just demand it? Those were my thoughts as I saw him shuffle out of the store, but here's the kicker. Less than 2 minutes later with a disposable mask. He had some with him in his car and didn't want to go back to get it, so he just demanded one from me. What's up with people? I always carry extra masks because I'm high risk and take responsibility for myself. Please take responsibility for yourself and get your own darn mask from your car. I mean, I guess it doesn't really hurt that much to hope and ask and just take a whiff on whether or not they do have an extra one that they would give you. It's just probably really not likely. I don't think too many people are fond of just giving or sharing a mask in any circumstance, especially during a pandemic. And our final story of the day is by SammyGirl7, I Was the Idiot. Background: I have a disability that will sometimes make it painful to walk, requiring the use of a cane or walker. Also, my favorite is I can just randomly fall down. It isn't the type of falling where it looks like you tripped, but just a straight-on crumble. It can be very embarrassing, and today was one of those days. I was doing some shopping at Walmart, pushing my cart, and boom! Legs gave out and I'm on the ground. Lots of people run over to see if I'm okay. Thank you, nice people. I go through my always hurried explanation of, I'm okay, no, I don't need medical help, this just happens due to a disability. Like always, people are trying to help. But then like a parting of the Red Sea, an employee in a blue polo and khakis walks through the small crowd. He lets me get up on my own because I said I could and guides me to the bench by the pharmacy. I explain again and he offers to help me shop. I say thanks, but I'm done because I don't even have my walker or cane in the car. Plus, I have to push my cart. He offers a mobility scooter, but I just want to leave because I'm embarrassed. He gets really excited and tells me to wait and walks away. He brought back a cane and says sorry, but the walkers are all boxed up and he'll push my cart. He just had this look of pure joy. I'm thinking this guy just doesn't want to do whatever task he's been assigned, so I say sure. I've been there before. We walk and I claim I only need a couple of items. I needed a lot, but again, I'm just embarrassed and just want to go home and cry. We talk while he helps me get things, loads it on the belt, puts it in my car. I try to tip him and ask the best way to let his boss know how great he was. Then they say, "Oh, I don't work here." I nearly died. I started apologizing faster than anyone ever has. I started to explain because of his clothing. Oh wait, that's right. Walmart employees don't have to wear blue shirts now. They wear a vest. He tried so hard not to laugh but failed. I asked him why he helped me if he didn't work there. He said because his mother taught him to help people. It was too much. I started crying in the parking lot. After I pulled myself together, we chatted briefly. We exchanged numbers and are going to grab a coffee with his girlfriend later this week. I moved last year and I've had trouble making new friends because of the pandemic, so now I might have 2 new ones. Best fall I've ever had. My most embarrassing too. I definitely feel bad for OP, especially when this happens in a public place. You know, all these people probably crowd around you and you get bombarded with, "Are you okay? What's wrong? Are you okay? Do you need 911?" Meanwhile, you know exactly what's going on, but you can't just megaphone it out to all these people. I'm just wishing OP all the best. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. So of all these stories I've read today, which is your favorite and why? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't yet, if you could like and subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. Whatever you do, whether it's liking, subscribing, turning notifications on, all of it helps grow this channel and I appreciate the heck out of it. So until next time, I'll see you all tomorrow with some more stories.